out. They just put a curfew in place in Miami.
If we go out while they're doing their protest and say this meeting is recorded, does that mean all the shenanigans stops?
Could be.
Tiago, they had me write a letter for the ladies to take with them, testifying that they're going to a synagogue.
Well, I understand, but I thought we said they can go early.
Yeah, no, but they're worried that even then, if they're running late, so they have a letter they can show the cops.
I hear. And exactly who are you? I'm saying, why are you gonna help? Why?
I'm saying no. It's on the letterhead. We put it on the letterhead.
Ah.
Yeah.
I hear. What Elio is talking about, and I guess it has a little bit. It actually has what to do with this daf. Actually, is that when they make a curfew, so 8:00 curfew. How does anybody go to mikva? Right.
Jacob, I guess these
LA.
Never thought about it. Nope.
What?
We never thought about such problems, unfortunately.
No, Shulchan Aruch actually the Shulchan Aruch discusses it, believe it or not. But LA last night, they had to cancel all mikvah appointments.
And Atlanta also has a curfew.
Yeah. LA's one tomorrow. They're locked in tomorrow, LA. From 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. tonight. And tomorrow, they're telling everyone to stay indoors.
Is that so? Okay, so so the question is, do you allow women to go during the day? That's the big shot.
I saw Rabbi Bess's shul got all vandalized.
Yeah, but they already cleaned it up.
They cleaned it up. They cleaned everything up.
Yeah, Chaim Bess sent me pictures of his. Chaim Bess was on New McNeil.
Right.
It's actually a big Kiddush Hashem.
Who had a baby today by the way?
Him.
He himself had a baby?
He and his second wife have had 2 children in the last 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, listen, let's hope this Basuras Taivas. That's what we need.
I mean.
If we learn, we'll have good Basuras.
Oh, there we go. By the way, there'll be Shua marching of Zev Bald on the Shavuos night, in the middle of the night, like around 1:30, 2 a.m. when we had to get back on track. We said, okay, in Zikaron of Zev Bald.
Yeah, we called out your name.
We got to get going.
Called out your name.
Know. So you don't even know how far your influence spreads.
You don't know what happened by Kaplan. Kaplan had 20 people learning there.
Very nice. Baruch Hashem.
The whole night.
Great.
One second, Zevi, you have to say the disclaimer. I was not in attendance all night. I don't want people to be kosher at home.
Well, that would just be a slap in Tiago's face, no? If you went over there and not to him.
Right. That's why I did it.
You know,
I can
Rosh
say one
Hashivas are
thing.
never in the Bismedish. The Rosh Hashivas are never in the
Oh,
Bismedish.
that's right.
And I can
Okay,
say
anyways,
one thing.
let's go.
My mute button did not work on Shavuos. Absolutely, my mute button did not work. Lambda was in 7
You thought
seconds.
those masks mute you. It doesn't mute. Doesn't mute.
4 tablets and give me a 5th, please.
Okay, let's go. So now tonight we have actually, as the last few block go, this is relatively easy. And we start with a lot of Shavuos Gemaras in the next few block. Okay? So Zok the Mishna. How do we know?
Where did you guys leave off?
Pei Vav and Aleph on the top, the Mishnah. Okay? Minayin lepeleta shikva zera b'yom hashlishi shetemeya shenemar hayunchaynu l'sheish yom. You should be clear for 3 days. Right? Right. So basically, what happens is before Shavuos, Hashem said to Klal Yisrael that they have to stay away from their wives for 3 days before Matan Torah, so that they should all be clean. Right. So the reason that why couldn't they just be together a day before, and that's it, and then everybody would go to the mikvah and that would be fine. The answer is because the Zera, the sperm, has 3 days in order to be able to impregnate, right? And since it has 3 days to impregnate, then if it would come out of the woman, then it would make her tamei for those days. So therefore, we needed to have 3 days before Shavuos. The question is, through the Gemara, is how we calculate those 3 days, which is interesting because in the world of infertility, so they used to say that sperm can only live for 2 days, even though halacha says, and the Gemara says it could live for 3 days. And now they came around to us and they agree that it could live for 3 days. Right? But since it could live for 3 days, therefore it has the power to be matama. So that's what it's saying. So how do we know that Peleta Shechva Zera on the third day that she's tame, meaning only after the third day she's tar? You should be prepared for 3 days. How do you know, right? So we have Shlishi Lamila, which is the third day from a bris. That's the most painful day that we know from Avraham Avinu. All right, so how do you know that on the third day, if the bris was on Thursday, so how do you know that on Shabbos you are allowed to wash the milah? It was on that third day when they were in pain. That's from Avraham Avinu. And then how do you know that you tie a red string on the head of the goat that's going to be sent out on Yom Kippur, right? That's going to be thrown off the cliff. Because it says, if your chataim will be considered old, then it will become white like snow, right? So that red string on top of the goat turns to white. How do you know that smearing yourself is like drinking on Yom Kippur? Meaning, does this 5 Yisurim on Yom Kippur, right? One is drinking and eating, and then there's smearing, and then there's Tasha Shamita, and then wearing leather, with leather shoes. So Sicha, how do you know that smearing yourself with, let's say you took oil and anointed yourself with it, how do you know that's as if you drank Yom Kippur? Even though it's not a raya, but it's at least a zeich. It comes into him like water inside him, and like oil on his on top of him. So basically, Sicha is Kishasiya. Now, where the only time where you really hear about Sicha Kishasiya is that the Machmirim by Hilchas Pesach, the Gra, says that Sicha is Kishasiya even for Hilchas Pesach. So if let's say you had some sort of cream that had chametz in it, so the Gra was of the opinion that not only is Sicha Kishasiya for Yom Kippur, but it's also Sicha is Kishasiya for other Isurim too. So therefore you have treif soap, right? And you use it on yourself, or treif shampoo, or meaning would have to be basar b'chalav, or chametz dika, stuff like that. So that would also make you, that would also make it as if you're drinking. That was the sheet of the Gra. Okay. So Gemara says, Reisha the like Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. The Reisha is not like Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Sefer Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. And the Sefer is like Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. So that's obviously not so consistent, right? If the beginning of the Reisha of the Mishna is Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah and the end is Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, so then that doesn't make sense. Dika Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah to Hayra Shimon aleh. Because if it was like Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, he would say that they're tar, right? Because, which we're going to see soon. The man delay muki katanoi tana reisha tahira muki lakula Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. The one who doesn't want to say our Mishnah is a machlekes tanaim learns the word tar in the book. Right? The second line of the Mishnah says, so those that don't want to learn as a machlekes tanaim change that word from tame to tahira. And then the entire Mishnah works out according to Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. And the one that wants to say it's a machlokes tanaim, Reisha Rabbanan, the Sefer Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Then the Reisha is like the Rabbanan, and the Sefer is like Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Okay, so there's two ways to go about learning the Mishnah. Neither way is perfect, because according to the first way, you have to change the word Tamei in the Mishnah to the word Tahira. And the other way is that the Reisha and the Sefer are going according to two different opinions. Okay, so Tana Rabbanan. This is just a little bit of calculation. So if she's Peleta Shechva Zera on Yom Shlishi, she's Tahira. Divir Rabbi Elazar. That's Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Rabbi Yishmael, Amr Pa'am Shein Dalad Oinus, Pa'am Shein Hein Oinus, Pa'am Shein Vav Oinus. Sometimes it's 4 Oinus, sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 6. Now an Oina, by the way, is 12 hours. An Oina is a day or a night, not a full day. Right? So Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah says that the last time they have to be together is Tuesday. Then you have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then you're clear for Shabbos, right? In which we're going to see that the matan Torah was on Shabbos. So it was your last time the husband and wife could be together is Tuesday, and right, and then you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's 72 hours. You're good to go. Rabbi Shmuel says no. Sometimes it could be 4, Sometimes it could be 5, or sometimes it could be 6. Meaning, depending on when we're going to see Baita, depending on when they were together, that's what it's going to be. Rabbi Kiva Amar La'ilam, hey, really, it's always 5. If there was a little bit of aina in the beginning, so we're going to add it on to the 6th aina, meaning, so she'll have to wait a few hours. Let's say they were together a few hours 3 days before, so then they'll have to go extend it a few 3 hours into Shabbos. So Amru Rabbana Kamei Rav Papa, V'Amri Lo Rav Papa L'Rabba. Either the Rabbanan said this in front of Rav Papa, or Rav Papa said it to Rabba. Bishlam Rav Elazar ben Azai Rabbanan. So it's good. It all works out. If Rav Elazar ben Azai says Rabbanan Da'amni Behei Ovid Prisha, that they separated on Thursday, right? Rabbi Yishmael, Rabbi Yossi, the Amar Badalid Ovid Prisha, and Rabbi Yishmael, according to Rabbi Yossi, who says they separate on Wednesday. Rabbi Kiva command, but who's Rabbi Kiva like? Where he says it adjusts to 4, 5, or 6. No, really, he was like Rabbi Yossi. Moshe used to go up to the mountain. That whole week of Kabbalah Satira, Moshe went up and down the mountain. Right, so he went up early in the morning, and he went up and he came down early in the morning. Bashkama Allah, he went up early. Right, so that's Vayashkim Moshe. Obviously, he got up early. And that's when he went up to the mountain. Bashkama Yarad. And he used to come down early in the morning to Siv Lech Reid Valisa Atavaroin Imach. Right? You should go down and go up to them with Aaron, your brother. It doesn't say your brother, but with Aaron. Makash Yirida Liliyah, and we compare the going down to the going up. Bashkama, if you read the Bashkama, just like going up was done early, so too the going down is also done early. Right? And then Mamela, he told it to them early in the morning to stay away from their wives. So I want to ask a very simple question. Why does he have to tell that? Yisrael are considered holy. And they do not have relations during the day. So why did Moshe Rabbeinu have to tell them on either Thursday morning or Wednesday morning not to be together with their wives if Yisrael is Kedoshim and they're not together with their wives anyways during the day? So Marava, no, because Rava says no, but if it's a dark room, then it is allowed. Then you are allowed to be together with your wife during the day. And Rav Papa says that a Talmud Chacham can make the room dark with his talus, meaning cover themselves fully with a talus, and then it's going to be mutter.
What does it mean, Talmud Chacham?
What?
What does that mean, Talmud Chacham?
How do you define a Talmud Chacham?
No, why here, Talmud Chacham Dafka?
Because he would know how to control himself. Since he would know how to control himself, so he can make it dark, and then he could be together. Whatever it is, the Gemara is saying, so there is a possibility that they could be together during the day. So therefore, Moshe Rabbeinu had to tell them not to be together during the day. Okay. Fine, but they still, even though they would tevul before matan Torah, but they were still tefula yom. I mean, the way it worked back then was you tevul during the day, then you had to wait for sunset in order to become tar. So, but that sunset, if they tevuled on Friday night, so then they still weren't tar till Matzah Shabbos, and they got the Torah on Shabbos. So does that mean that they were all still tameh? They both say nitna Torah l'tful yom. No, the Torah can be given to a tful yom as long as they went to the mikva. They're okay, even though they have to wait for shkia to become totally tar. But the Torah could have been given to them. Yasam Marema v'karmel lahosh ma'itza. Marema was sitting and he said this Gemara over. Amalei Rabbeinu Marema nitna kamret or ruya kamret. Do you mean that it was actually given to tful yom, or just it's fitting to be given? Meaning, were they actually tful yom? So Amalei ruya kamina. I only meant ruya, but really in theory, not in theory, in practical, they all ended up going to the mikvah Friday before shkia, and therefore Friday at shkia they were all tar and they were all tful yom. So the Gemara says, "V'litvulu beini shimshi v'lekablu Torah beini shimshi." Why couldn't they go to the mikvah bein hashmashos and be makabel the Torah bein hashmashos? Amar Rav Yitzchak lo merosh b'seisa dibarti. This is actually one of the big kiruv. This answer here is what many kiruv, organizations or kiruv professionals use. That lo merosh b'seisa dibarti. I do not want to talk to Klal Yisrael when it's hidden. I want it to be everybody know about it, right? That's one of the things that they prove. Like if you wanted to make a fake religion, you would do it more like Yashka, where nobody heard anything. It's just him and God. Would you try and say that God gave the Jews the Torah in front of 600,000 people? That's not exactly the way to go about doing it if you're fooling everybody, right? You know what I'm talking about? You guys aware of this taina? Right? That's what it's saying
It's
here.
a
Hashem said,
go-to.
what?
It's a go-to. It's a standard
Yes.
go-to.
Right, that's right. It's your basic kiruv 101, right?
Over a bowl of chunt.
That's
Yeah.
right. I was going to say schnapps, but yeah. So that's what Hashem didn't want to give the Torah ben Hashmoshes. He wanted to give it in the middle of the day so everybody could see. So then where it says, okay, so why couldn't they be tevul in the evening? No, it's in the morning and then be makal in the morning. No, because we didn't want half of Klal Yisrael going to the mikva and half of Klal Yisrael coming back from getting the Torah. Meaning, so we wanted uniformity and we wanted everybody to be on the same page. Right? Fine. So Amar Rabbi Chia, Rabbi Abba, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Zudei Rabbi Shmuel. That's all according to Rabbi Shmuel. Rabbi Kiva. I'm sorry. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Zudei Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Kiva. Sheish Einos Shleim must be in, and you need 6 full Einos. Okay? Now, let's stop right here. And by the way, I don't know if anybody wants to discuss this, doesn't want to discuss this, but this is the source for why it is that when a woman becomes a nida, you have to wait 5 days before you can clear up. Meaning, let's say a woman gets a period and it only lasts a day or two. So how come you have to wait 5 days? Right? Where does the 5 days come from? So it comes from this Gemara, which is basically what it is that if a woman would be paleta shechva zera during the Shiva Nikiyim, so then therefore you can't count that day towards the Shiva Nikiyim. So how do you know? Let's say she's together with her husband, then she sees, and then she stops, and you want to clear up right away. How do you know she's not being paleta shechva zera? So therefore you have to wait 72 hours, which is automatically 4 days, because you need a full 72 hours, and that's going to go into the 4th day. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, let's say she gets it now. So what is it? Sunday night around 9:45. So when is 72 hours up? Wednesday night it's 9:45. But now you're already into Wednesday, so now you have to wait till the end of Wednesday. So that's 4 days, and Ashkenazim added on another day. Whatever it is, it's all based on this Gemara that you need sheish einos shleimus.
Ashkenazim, why they added another day course?
Because they were chayshid that a guy's going to be a wise guy, and it's going to happen exactly at Shkia, and he's going to think, okay, so I nailed it, 72 hours to Shkia 3 days later, right? And therefore,
Wednesday night.
And so therefore they made a gezer, and they said, okay, we're just adding another day for the wise guys. It's always the wise guys that are messing things up.
So Svardim is 4 to 7?
Svardim is 4. They don't wait 5. Ashkenazim added on another day.
But
And then 7. Everybody holds 7.
Afraid that what?
Whether it's 4 or 5. What?
They're afraid that what?
That a guy's going to be a wise guy. Yes, Simon, I couldn't agree more, right? But the guy's going to be a wise guy by Shkia, right? And he's going to think, okay, it started at Shkia, so 72 hours from now is right at Shkia. And they say, okay, I nailed it. I got 3. It's really only 3 days. But really what happened was it started at Shkia. It really started after Shkia. So his 3rd day, his 72 hours is really into the 4th day. And he decided to be a smart aleck, and he only counted as 3 days. So therefore they said, we're adding on another day for him. It's not so easy to understand why they would make a gzeira for such a rare case.
Is it less than the chumrah if on the last day?
It's yes. We Ashkenazim will be soymech on the Svardim, and under trying circumstances. Yes, we will knock it down from 5 to 4. Yeah. But it depends on the situation. Depends who you ask. But
could it be, let's say, Kala before she gets married?
For sure. But the Kala doesn't really have it because she's been usher anyways. That's the point. You only need 5 days of Isser. You don't need 5 days of period. You just need 5 days of Isser. So that's really. I mean, it's a whole complicated. It's not really complicated, but it's a whole issue. But the bottom line is, it comes from this Gemara here. But
if you don't start the 7 yet, it's useless. Vinny, you'd have to know about this before the 4
Very
or
good,
5
Peretz.
comes
Yes,
in.
you'd have to chop this, right. What happens is sometimes people hear about this, and in the middle of Shiva Nikim, they say, hey, I need to do this a day earlier because I'm traveling or whatever, and it's too late. You can never chop down to 7. You always need 7. It's the only thing that's negotiable is knocking down the 5 to the 4, right? But nothing less than 3 based on this Gemara. Okay, now the Gemara brings some very interesting cases, to say the least. Amar of Chista, that's only talking about when it's coming out of the woman. But if it comes out from the man, then Tameya, it's Tameh Kozman Shehilecha, that's when it was, as long as it's moist or wet, then it's gonna, that will become Tameh. If you touch it, it'll become Tameh. But once it's dry, then it's not an issue. So it's only when it comes out of the woman. And any clothing or any leather that has on it shikva zera, prat l'shikva zera, shisrucha, right? That comes to exclude a shikva zera that's decayed. My love shapirshim and ish. Isn't that referring to that if it comes out from the man? Lo shapirshim and ish, not talking about where it comes out from the woman. Okay, so that's what we're saying. So from the man has less tumah than from the woman. So boira papa shikva zera sheyisol b'meikusis mahu. Now, if you have the shikva zera of a Yisrael, basically Yisrael's mezana with a guy, right? Does it have the same din as in a yid? So what's the question? So Yisrael, the daigi b'mitzvahs.
Intra vitro, like they do today.
Yeah, you could do in vitro too, but I don't know why you would want to do that with a guy, unless the woman has the issue and you're using a surrogate as a guy. That maybe would be the issue, right? But I don't know what the case would be anyways. That it'll be negayas. It's coming out of the woman. She's a guy. Who cares, right? Whether she should become tummy, she's a guy.
Right.
But the Gemara is just asking it more for the philosophical angle on it, and there's a major din that's learned out here for all those that smoke. But we'll get to that in a second. So shikva zera sheyisrael b'mei kusis. The shikva zera of a Yisrael that's in the womb of a kusis of a guy. Mao Yisrael did daigi b'mitzvahs chavuk gafayim. Yidden who are scared, they're always worried about doing mitzvahs, so they're weaker. So therefore, it decays in them worse than by Akum, the loy daigim mitzvahs loy. But Akum who's chill, they don't have any worry about any keeping halacha.
Why would they be weaker?
What?
Why would they be weaker?
Why? Who? Yidden?
Yeah.
Because we're worried all day about keeping mitzvahs and all that, and in ways.
Wouldn't that make us stronger?
It'll make us spiritually strong, but physically, it wears you down.
You mean mentally?
Mentally, which then takes a physical toll. Yeah.
Anxiety ridden.
And anxiety. Yeah, 100%.
Gotcha.
No, it's one side of the Gemara. That's only one side. The Gemara is saying, that's one way. The Gemara says the other way around. Since Goyim eat disgusting things like bugs and ramasim and creepy crawlies, chavel gafayim, their bodies become more decayed. Yeah? So those are the two stadim of the Shiloh. Yeah? So now, here, the Chassam Sofer, if anybody wants to know, I mean, I'm sure you guys have all heard of this, but every yeshiva guy knows this Chassam Sofer, which is that, can you smoke or not? Is it usher to smoke or not? So the Chassam Sofer says that all these studies that they come out, that smoking is bad for you, those studies were not done on Yidden. Those studies were done on Goyim, whose bodies are all beat up because of what the Gemara says here, because they eat shkatzim and ramasim and all sorts of disgusting things that the Torah tells you not to eat, but they eat it anyways. So Mamela, since their bodies are all messed up, so therefore smoking negatively affects them too. But a Yid who doesn't have all these things, smoking doesn't necessarily affect them. Ask any yeshiva guy about this Chassam Sofer, they know it. Okay? So that's basically what he
I thought it had to do with Shabbos, that they don't smoke on Shabbos, so it's always one day less.
I don't know if he says that too, but I could hear that svara also. I could hear that svara too, that helps.
I'm not admitting to being a yeshiva guy, but that's the way I heard it.
No, the main one is that they eat all these creepy crawlies and all these disgusting things, and therefore their bodies are damaged anyway. Anyways, take it or leave it, but that's where it comes from. This Gemara.
So that's in the Kusus. That what's the child?
The what?
What is the child? A Yid or a Goy?
Child is a Goy. Child's a Goy. For these halachas, it goes with the mother. Even though normally Yichus goes with the father, but when it was done by Issa, then it goes with the mother. Yeah. Now you're asking if you do it in vitro. That's a whole.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
That's a loaded question right there. That's a loaded question. I think that even Ramosha would not be makel in that. Ramosha was makel the other way around.
Right. If you're taking.
Ramosha allowed donor sperm from a
going to a Jewish lady.
Because he did not allow a Jewish donor because we don't know who the father is, and then they could end up marrying siblings. But a non-Jewish Ramosha allowed it. But they say that he didn't. Whatever. It's complicated whether really anybody relies on that kula nowadays.
There's a major tshuva in one of those English farm from Somet, called Crossroads, about this very thing. It's like it's a huge one, and it's super involved. And they bring Rav Moshe and all. I mean, it's a fascinating topic. Happens to me.
Yeah. You have that? You have it?
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
I'll take a picture. I'll send it out.
All right, please. But whatever. It's very common. Sama Rebbe. That's the famous story of the Sama Rebbe. Sama Rebbe was fire against Rav Moshe about this.
What was the fight about it?
Yeah, the Sama Rebbe was very anti-Rav Moshe with this.
And he told him if you stop davening with if you daven with the shkia, you should daven with the shkia.
I don't know, something like that. But the other famous story that came out is that a bunch of Satmar Rabbanim came to the Satmar Rebbe and they said, we're going to Rav Moshe to try and convince him out of this psak. And can you, we want to come, we're coming for a bracha. So Satmar Rebbe said, it's very nice you're going to convince the Rav Moshe out of the psak. There's only one problem. What are you going to do when he starts talking to you and learning? So meaning there was a major respect there. It just was a big disagreement over this psak.
Tiago, I sent you that whole thing on that, right?
I don't remember.
The whole thing where they went in Eretz Yisrael, and then they asked them why. He asked them why.
Could be sent it. If you didn't, if you did, you could resend it. Because I'm dealing with this now. So it's yeah. Anyways,
it was the Pupa and Salem Rebbe.
The what?
That wanted to fight it out with Rav Moshe.
Yeah. Everybody.
Supposedly, he asked them how long did they prepare for, and they said 2 weeks. And he said 2 years wouldn't be enough. Wasting your time.
Yeah, right. So that's yeah. So those are the stories they say. Either way, but that's not the point. The point is that the Chassam Sofer. I mean, it is the point. But I'm saying the Chassam Sofer is the one that everybody who smokes hangs their hat on. Most contemporary poskim, even Ramosha also matters smoking, but Rav David Feinstein, from what I understand, says that the Metzias changed since Ramosha discussed it, and therefore smoking is out. But we're talking about regular smoking, not once in a while. Either way, so that was the first. That's the
I heard
first
the same thing about Chol Yisrael.
Yeah. Okay, so that's one question. Then the next question. And if you're going to say that the goyim, their bodies do get destroyed because they eat shkatzim or ramasim, what about if you find, the zera from the man inside a behema? Okay, that seemed to be much more of a common occurrence back then. So isha de isle proizdar misracha. So in isha that has a proizdar, a canal. So then it gives time for it to get decayed. But a behemoth does not have a proizdar, so then it doesn't have time to get decayed. Or it doesn't make a difference. Teku. So that's if this will remain till Eliyahu Hanavi. Right? Now, if I was Eliyahu Hanavi and these were the questions that were asked to me, I'd be like, I think you don't have anything more practical than this.
So what ramifications in halacha is this? What is it?
Correct. I don't know. I don't know. Right? But it seems like bestiality back then was a much more of an issue. As crazy as we say that our generation is, with Navala and all that, it seems bestiality back then was a serious.
With
serious
Yidden
issue.
or with Goyim?
What?
Yidden
Anybody. And Orchos Tzadikim, when he goes through like common Isurim, he talks about being Mazana with chickens. I'm just telling you, this says Orchos Tzadikim brings that. So what I'm saying is that we're not doing so bad. That's what I'm saying. I think we're doing all right with the internet and the whole deal. But okay, that's a different schmooze for a different time. Okay, weiter.
We'll defer to Simon.
That's right. Okay.
What happened?
Nothing. We're talking about bestiality. In your neighborhood, it's probably more common. But anyways, Torah Bonin, yeah. Your neighbor 4 houses down. Torah Bonin, yes. B'shishi b'chodesh. Yes. And now we start with a whole sugya for the next couple of blocks of exactly when Shavuos fell out, which is interesting that we're doing this the day after Shavuos. So Torah Bonin, b'shishi b'chodesh nitnu aseres adibros liYisrael. On the 6th of the month, the Aseret Sedivros was given to Klal Yisrael. Rav Yossi Amar b'Shiva boy. Rav Yossi says no, it was given on the 7th. Right? Somewhere over the Kuli Alma b'Rosh Chodesh Asul Midbar Sinai. According to everybody, on Rosh Chodesh Sivan, that's when they came to the Midbar Sinai. Ksiv Hacha b'Yom Hazeh bo Midbar Sinai, because it says here on this day they came to Midbar Sinai. Uksiv Hasam HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem Rosh Chodashim. And this month will be the Rosh Chodashim. Al Halan Rosh Chodesh, Afkan Rosh Chodesh. Just like over there, it's referring to Rosh Chodesh Nisan. So too here, they came on Rosh Chodesh. And everybody holds that the Torah was given on Shabbos. Just like over there, it was on Shabbos itself. So too here, it's on Shabbos itself. Okay, so now let's just make sure we have this straight. According to everybody, Klal Yisrael came on Rosh Chodesh Sivan to the Midbar to get the Torah. And according to everybody, the Torah was given on Shabbos. So now how do we have a machlokes, whether it was given on the 6th day or the 7th day? So they had a machlokes. What the machlokes is when exactly did they say it's Rosh Chodesh? On Sunday, it was considered Rosh Chodesh, and on that Sunday, nothing was told to Klal Yisrael. Because they were tired from traveling, so Hashem had Rahmanus, and he said, okay, they just traveled, they just got to their hotel, I guess, in the Midbar, and he said, okay, we're just going to let everybody take a day off and relax. So Sunday was Rosh Chodesh, Sunday nothing was commanded to them. Betrei b'Shabbos, but on Monday, Amar lahu v'atem tiyuli mamlechas koyanim, the Goy Kodesh is the red, right? On Monday, they said, you shall be to me a nation of kings or whatever. Betlasa, on the 3rd day, on Tuesday, Amalu mitzvahs hagvala. He told them the hashloishes me'agvala, what you, all the boundaries that you have to do, not touching Har Sinai, etc., etc. Barba Avad Prisha. On the 4th day, they said they had to separate from their spouses. That was basically what went on. And then you have 3 more days, and then it was on Shabbos. Rabbanan Savri betrayed b'Shabbos ikva yarcha. Rabbanan say no, it was on Monday that it was Rosh Chodesh. Betrei b'Shabbos lo yamar lahu v'lo yimidi b'shem chol shel. Nothing was said to them on Monday. Betlasa amar lahu v'atem tiyuli. On Tuesday, he told Hashem told Klal Yisrael, you're going to be the chosen nation. Ba'arba amar lahu mitzvahs hagvala. On the 4th, he said that the boundary halachas. Behei avad prisha, and on the 5th, they did prisha. So basically, the whole machlokes, it's the same order. The whole machlokes comes down to whether the Rosh Chodesh was on a Sunday or whether it was on a Monday. And the Mela, therefore, the machlokes is whether Shavuos was on the 6th day of Sivan or on the 7th day of Sivan. Okay? So then the Gemara is going to go asking kashas on both these sheets for the next blot and a half to try and prove or disprove them. All right?
Doesn't
it say a pretty relatively easy daf?
Doesn't it say though when in the Torah Shavuos is or no?
No, it didn't. Well, we learned out that it was on Shabbos. That we know.
But it doesn't say it like 6th or 7th of Shavuos.
What do you mean? You count 7 complete weeks from the day after Pesach.
Correct.
Yaakov.
Yes.
I send you a shower about a shaver.
When did you do that?
In the afternoon.
I never got anything from you.
Yaakov, we also had the song of the daf.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I meant to tell you that. I never got
I
anything
posted
from you,
the-
Elazar, but
Am
either
I-
way, I don't get.
You know if the broad 9 is good.
I don't get involved. I tell everybody to go to Star K. I mamish don't get involved. My father's a Kohen Baruch held.
No shaving?
99% of poskim hold it's an Isur Daraisa to shave. So with any electric thing, so I don't get involved.
I posted the YouTube link to the Ramesha thing.
When your father held what? 99%?
My father did not want me to shave with an electric shaver. He was very not happy with me. I did it anyways, but he wasn't going to tell me not to.
Where,
He was very
on the bottom over here?
everywhere.
Really?
Just on my face. It wasn't against anything else. I'm just saying.
Okay, he told me to dull the blades. He sent me and parrots down to guy in Teradas or something.
Yeah, listen, yes, but he was not pro electric shavers. Whatever it is, I
spoke to him at first in Chicago.
Rabbi First holds everything is okay.
Yeah.
But that's only, even Rabbi First holds
It's not true, by the way.
Everything okay.
It's 100% not true, by the way.
Clearly, Simon.
He's
What's
giving
not
a
true?
guy here who has trouble walking. He's giving a guy here a hell of a time with one of those electric scooters on Shabbos, the Star K ones.
No, we're talking about shaving.
Simon, we're talking about shaving.
Oh, I haven't shaved in years, so I found it out.
Simon gets all fired up on the road.
Simon, we thought from where you live, that's a 5 o'clock shadow.
Rabbi First told me all electric shavers.
Yeah, but again, Naftali, that's based on Ramosha's Das Yochid. Everybody else disagrees with Ramosha.
Okay.
Again, I'm not saying you can't shave. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that why do I got to get involved with it? Because I have no idea what's good, what's not good, and I'm not up to date. So therefore, I tell everybody to call Star K because they're very electronically. Rabbi Heinemann or Hashem is very astute in electronics, and whatever they say is fine to rely on.
Which tshuva was I looking for? Was a Das Yochid?
Who? Ramesh is a Das Yochid, yes.
On shaving.
Yes. I mean, there's a Rishon that he holds like, but that's it. Everybody else holds electric shavers are awesome.
Wow.
That's a pellet to me that yeshiva guys are so busy with their matzahs and this frumkeit and that frumkeit. Hello, you shave your over on thousands of the Surah Deraisa. Why are you so frum? You're not so frum. Okay, whatever it is.
Well, what's the issue?
choice
It
is
cuts
there?
too close or it pulls the hair out? What's the issue?
No,
with
that's the
metal is
lifting
touching-
cut. That's the lifting cut.
Not the
Come on.
lifting cut. Any electric shaver.
That means a hair
even the
machine,
brawn,
if you-
even the
if you
brawn,
use
the
a hair cutting
foil.
machine on your beard.
What about a beard trimmer? Just using the back of a
1 second.
beard trimmer.
Can I just say something? The whole world does it.
What about a razor blade?
That basically they hold that anything metal touching the skin is the equivalent of a razor blade.
What
That's
choice do you have? What choice do you have? You
Simon's
just
neighbor got a heter to use the razor on Shabbos because it's not electric. That's a different scooter.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying anybody here. Hello, I just want to make it clear before I stick my foot in my mouth. I want to make it clear. The world shaves with electric shavers. There's no reason anybody has to be frummer than that. I'm just saying the yeshiva guys that are very frum about everything else. This they're not.
What I'm saying is the whole world shaves on this from a Das Yachid.
Yes. Yes.
Doesn't make any sense? We don't owe.
Listen. Go to Eretz Yisrael. Go look at all the poskim, all the Eretz Yisrael Rosh Yeshivas. They didn't like beards, but they held that you have to use cream.
Scissors, correct?
I had a
What?
roommate who used the cream.
You could use the scissors, yes, but not up against the skin.
So how does everybody in Israel shave?
They used the cream. I had a
They use
roommate
the
who used the
cream there,
cream.
man. I'm telling you, they use the cream.
What cream? What cream? Lanier?
You know, like
Puerto Rican store. The Puerto Rican stores sell the powder. Of course they do. Shaving powder.
There you
Go to
go.
any Puerto Rican store.
What about laser treatment? Are you letting use?
Content to the
Yes,
rescue.
laser treatment would be 100% fine.
For men?
Yes.
What?
Waxing would be fine. Laser treatment is fine. But like
Yeah,
the
I'm
lady
gonna
say,
I'm
let's
gonna
see a
hold
man
like
go for a
Moshe.
waxing and
Forget
see
it.
what happens.
Or
I'm
just
gonna
grow
do
a
no
beard.
waxing. I'm gonna hold like
Yeah,
Moshe.
Landau, you look like you hold by Ramosha's heter for the razor.
Or just grow a beard like a man. I
Peretz,
don't know.
Peretz, you're looking at his head, not his chin.
I wax my head. I wax my head. That I don't use a shaver.
Confused that your phone was upside down.
It's Yaakov.
Yes.
Yaakov, there's two here, maternity and fetal transplants. For one from Reb Zalman Goldberg and one from Reb Ezra Bick. You want both of them?
Yes, please.
You got it.
Anyways,
All
but
right.
that's the story. So Reb Zeh, did he leave? He got fed up with us?
Yeah, he packed out. He went to shave.
Okay. Anyways, so I'm sorry about that. But anyways, okay, have yourselves a good night.
Now all of a sudden Micha turns on the camera. That's it, you know.
He wants to show
Tell
off
him
the
a
beard.
when they get out.
He was how a real man shaves.
There you go. All right. Zagazon, everybody. It's been a
All
pleasure.
right.
Stay safe.
Let's go.
I get to
He just got